Hi, my name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer, and every single Friday I give you a macro technical analysis video. Yeah, that's right, we go over Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance, the total market cap of all the cryptos, the total market cap of all the altcoins. We look at gold, we look at what's going to happen to the dollar, and we look at the bigger picture of the S&P and the NASDAQ. This is amazing. A lot of people are getting stuck in the smaller time frames, a lot of anxiety, a lot of emotions. Let's zoom out together every Friday. Let's calm down. The volume's dropping. The markets are going to close, the traditional markets, right? Let's see what's happening. Let's take a look every Friday at the macro. Jump on in with me. We're going to start with Bitcoin and have some fun. Let's go. Okay, so here we are with Bitcoin, and we're going to break down Bitcoin on the monthly. Now, what happens is this monthly candle keeps flipping green to red, green to red. Every time we're below 89.9, we're red. Every time we're back above, we're green. And it's almost like the macro keeps playing games. Like, we know if this closes red or it could continue down, and the monthly actually may come all the way back down to this monthly support at 82.4. Again, in the back of your mind, if you've been a trader for, any more than a few years, you got to start seeing this as a possible head and shoulder. You got to start seeing that as the possible measured move if we break down from the neckline. And you got to see that even if we do get a pump, we could be somewhere back down at $48,000 BTC. We could come test these right shoulders there, 45, 48K. So that's possible. I just want to make that clear right off the bat. That's your most bearish scenario as far as I'm concerned. Then you kind of will carve out the bear market and drag back on out. To me, I'm open-minded to that because I'm open-minded to anything is possible. I don't want to be a perma bear, though, and tell you that's going to happen for sure. What if, we have 18 days, 19 days for the end of the month? What if in 19 days we get a pump? This candle closes green and it's somewhere up in here. We actually bust through $95,000. So there's a lot of people that are short right now using the monthly resistance. And they're all hiding up in here. There's a lot of liquidity. BOOKMAP, which is a liquidity finder, kind of finds, it says there's still a lot of stops and liquidations right there at 95,000. Again, there's still a lot of liquidity below us too here. If you zoom out down here, look, all the way down to 88, 87.5, even down to 87,000. There's a lot of liquidity down there. So we do have to take that into account, but 95 still looms. The key is I want this monthly candle to close green. All right, let's flip into the weekly, as this is our weekly technical analysis video. What we're still seeing, too, on the monthly and the weekly is a strong, somewhat of a hidden bullish divergence, right? As the RSI trends down while price trends up, and you're still low stochastic. You also pull a fib on the weekly from wick to wick, and you are sitting with a 786 bounce in that kind of golden pocket 706 area that my students and people that watch me understand. And if you just don't use the 786, you're even pretty dang close to the golden pocket. However, rejection twice, and 94,000, we've got rejected by it on the local time frames, like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, like 4 or 5 times now. We can't seem to get back above 94K. So mixed signals for Bitcoin. In my humble opinion, you kind of have to assume maybe the monthly is just going to make a bear flag like it did in the last bear market here. It kind of slowly made a bear flag. It took a while. Once it broke down from the original breakdown, it slowly made this bear flag. And that took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That took, let's see, X shift. Yeah, that took, 77 days, right? So we could be in the beginning of a, 77-day bear flag that eventually dumps. I just want people to understand, I'm going to get you through this all, and it's going to be tough, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and it's going to take day by day, week by week. If you're not ready for the long haul, TA will tear you down, so we just have to be open-minded and ready for each day. And if we're swing traders, good traders, we can take advantage of volatility, whether we are up or down. So that's the key, is to stay sharp, look at the charts every day, and keep pushing. You can see right now, resistance is support, though, right there. We have a beautiful support at about $86,000 for Bitcoin. So as long as we hold that, so there's some copium, but it's not all amazing. Right now, we really need the weekly to close green. Today, it's spoken red. I'd like it to flip green and close green. But if it closes red, that's a tweezer top. And to me, it tells me that there's more downside coming, or it's making the flag, and it's just going to start consolidating. I see a very similar story here on the 5-day chart. When I really look deep at the 5-day, I'm starting to see this as a bear flag. There was a chance that we were going to get another green candle, and this could V-shape recovery. But I kept telling everyone, just keep in mind that it looks more like a bear flag. And then there's your measured move again, too, and that takes you to 64,000. Back to the 200 moving average on the 5-day chart. Again, look, we're right on the 200 on the 3-day. If we lose that, you drop to the 4-day 200. If you lose the 4-day 200, you drop to the 5-day. I've tested this. I've seen it many times. And look, you can see there's a high volume node here. Just the drag into that $68,000 level looks very likely, unless we can show some magic. And this week we had the chance, but now even today, you can see the daily candle closing red again. Now, I've seen crazy stuff, like they keep flipping the price action back and forth every couple of days, which makes it very difficult. But at the end of the day, I mean, this was a bear flag already as far as I'm concerned, and it seems like it's already breaking the trend line. I see shoulder, head, right shoulder here. The daily tells me it's coming down to 86,000. So I see at least a test down to 86K. And heck, I could be wrong. They could reverse it. It's been very, very tough. And I watch price action like every day, like a hawk. Today, what you're really looking for is the same as yesterday. Can the 4-hour put in a tweezer bottom here? Can we double bottom on the 4-hour? We're looking for support at 89,750 and a bounce. Very good chance when I come back next week, which is going to be by Friday, we're just still even kind of somewhat sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if we're right here and just we've been going sideways the entire time. So my prediction is we bounce and somewhat go sideways, but there is still a looming dump headed up. We need the 4-hour today to close a tweezer top. You'll see that as you watch this, because this will come out a few hours later. You'll see if this closed red or green. If it closed green, we're going to be up here. If it closed red, you're probably going to be making your way down. What this 4-hour candle does is a big deal right now. That closes, that closes at what? At 2 hours and 27 minutes from now, which is going to be which is 4 o'clock but 3 o'clock for me. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, you'll probably see this a little later than that. So this is what we're seeing. We want to see this bounce and consolidation. And again, you're looking at this on the macro, so the day-to-day doesn't really matter. You want to zoom out and see the big picture. But yeah, if this can bounce, we can go sideways. There's a chance that those bigger time frame hidden bullish divergences play out. Otherwise, roll over. You're really looking to see if the 1 hour can get back above the 200, hang out with it. It's very important. If you can get back above the 4-hour 200, you get back above the 4-hour 200 moving average and the 21 crosses, that would be one of the most beautiful longs I've ever seen. Until then, I assume that we're going to just continue sideways and possibly dump. And that's your macro for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency and see what that's kind of saying right now. Same bear flag, same scenario, but let's just kind of zoom out and redraw it for you. So yeah, we're looking, the only thing is low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Isn't that not an uptrend? You could say, oh, but we broke that low, but you could say that was part of a bigger move up. You can draw this and say it's in an uptrend too as well, and you can still kind of say, well, are altcoins going to possibly make this ascending triangle? This is why it's interesting to me, because even if altcoins get the bounce, it looks like we could consolidate. And if we're going to get a massive move, see, it keeps saying we don't pump until October. So it's funny. I see this interesting enough, but it almost looks like a sideways year with a breakout in October. And that's when the crypto market actually, so either you're going to get a right shoulder and collapse for a multi-year bear market, come back up later, or you're going to go sideways and pump. Either way, it does look like you could get the reversal with this higher low. The macro looks somewhat bullish. The oversold stochastics, the MACD, it all looks like you could get a move. Even the RSI is in a pretty dang good spot, and you have hidden bullish divergence. Tell you what, the macro looks interesting. It's starting to blend a little more bullish than bearish. But to me, it's really about this 3-day 200. Same story. Can we hang? Bitcoin dumps out that bear flag. Even though as strong as altcoins are, they're likely going to continue down. I do have to tell you, once you've lost these highs, like head and shoulder on the bigger time frames, it's better off to assume we're going to dump. So for me, it's like you can put a stop loss here and hedge long. Right? It's kind of what we call schlong territory, going short and long. You kind of set both traps. So like it's good to hedge a short long, like maybe 1,000 for 12,000 if you get a reversal, right? But you just you just kind of look for short. You could also have a short here, right? And so if it comes up, boom, you let the bigger one ride. If it rides, you just get stopped out for the smaller amount and let it come down too. So to me, it's hard to tell what they're going to do. The next few days are going to tell us a story. Bitcoin's going to teach us a lot. This keeps going sideways, touches the 21, dump. This turns green and gets a pump, crosses the 21, gets above the 200, the point of control here. We got ourselves a story. So it's day by day right now for BTC. We're in a very sensitive spot. There are some macro signals for reversal, but the smaller time frames have to play. To me, this is how it would play out, something like this. It may be a smaller channel. Maybe it doesn't get this big. Maybe it's like, more like that. I don't know exactly. But this, to me, would be how the bulls can dig our way out of here. And it does say, even if we dig our way out, the bigger pump does not come till way later on in 2026, which is quite interesting. We look at total 3. And again, I could be wrong, but these, a lot of these videos have played out to be right. We call bounces on the S&P numerous times here on this macro analysis video. But again, it's just what the charts convey. We're just trying to read them correctly. It's just what the charts convey. We're correctly reading them for you. So same thing here, 3-day, and this is all the altcoins. 3-day hanging on the 200, things looking a little sketchy. The only thing about altcoins is they don't look as bare, like the flag doesn't look as sideways. It just looks more like we could get a possible bounce, and we're hanging. Still got the trend line, still got a slightly higher low. Can you get the bounce here is the question. That's what everyone is looking for. To me, I just remain a little more bearish because the trend isn't our friend, but that doesn't mean we can't get the reversal. I just feel like that's, so basically the trend on the 4-hour, the daily, it's a downtrend, but the macro is still hugging a higher low on these altcoins. And with low volume on December, I see us even possibly sideways, maybe a little pump, but hard to tell. Yet again, the main thing we're watching is this 3-day candle. This closes in 2 days and 7 hours. If this keeps going sideways, and you want to see this round a bottom, I kind of see a possible Adam and Eve digging, no, even that looks bearish to me too. Looks more like a descending triangle, if anything else. And, altcoins are very risk on right now, meaning like most people that take a shot at altcoins are very risky. You have to have a lot of guts to go at an altcoin right now. It's not going to be easy. So anyway, I lean more bearish than bullish. The bulls have to show us something, like get us back above 905 billion for the altcoins, and I'll start to believe something's brewing. But right now we are struggling. The only hopium I got is we're hugging the 3-day 200 moving average, and we've been hugging it now since the 21st of November. When everything reversed. Look, the S&P reversed, the NASDAQ reversed. Isn't that crazy? I called the reversal here. Bitcoin pumped. The NASDAQ and the S&P went all the way up here. Everything else pumped. Tesla, everything went move. But Bitcoin did not. Why? How come a risk on asset like Bitcoin did not pump? What's going on? It's really strange, right? Moving on, we got to look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance tells us how much money is in Bitcoin and the altcoins. Now, when Bitcoin dominance moves up, it means people are basically selling altcoins out of risk, or the Bitcoin's pumping. It's one of two things. When I look at the bigger picture, it kind of looks like shoulder head, right shouldery, like it may collapse. And everyone wants to know, does Bitcoin dominance come up or does it dump? Remember, it dumps for two reasons. When the market is horrible and people get out of Bitcoin completely, but it also dumps for alt season. To me, this dump doesn't look like an alt season dump. Although look at ETHBTC, it has gained a little momentum. So we're in another situation here where we're just hugging the 3-day 200 moving average. Looks like a head and shoulder pattern. And when you look at the weekly, you're a bit overbought, but you're still hugging a higher low. To me, it tells me to watch out if we dump. It doesn't look like alt season. It looks like Bitcoin dominance actually might be pumping up here in the next week or two. I see a move up for Bitcoin dominance, all right, which actually could be very bearish for the market because it means people might be running out of altcoins. You want to look at the weekly on Tether dominance. If that looks bearish, we have some hope. Let's take a look. That's also high, but it's above the 200 moving average like we showed the other day. So let's zoom in here. Yeah, that looks bullish, right? So if Tether dominance is going to have a bullish week, and so does Bitcoin dominance, usually tells me altcoins are going to have a massive dump. Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's setting up to be nasty. I'd like this to kind of break below the 200 and start to dump, but it just doesn't look like it's happening right now. I'd watch out. It's almost setting up for a Bitcoin dump next week, so just be careful. That's what we're saying. Remember, we were able to call that last time, and that massive dump for Bitcoin, we could see it here on Tether dominance. So I hate to be the bearer of bearish news. I'm just showing you, watch Tether dominance. It looks like it's on a bit of an uptrend, and that's not a great sign for the altcoins or Bitcoin. You look at the DXY, and it's dropping with Bitcoin. Like we saw this bear flag, and we called the dump, and we got it. Let me delete this, but we called this last time I did an analysis on the DXY. We could see shoulder head shoulder breakdown below the 200 moving average, and that's what we got. And this to me looks like a bear flag, right? And it did break to the downside, and it looks like you're going to at least head further down. And what's interesting is Bitcoin and the dollar are dumping together as if they're like the same thing. It's almost like Trump likes the US dollar, Trump likes Bitcoin. They jumped. It's weird, right? But double top there, I see this coming down and then further down. So I just see more downside for the DXY. And that's good for real estate. That's good for classic cars. That's good for, Lambos, Ferrari, stuff like that. Anything that has scarce value, art. This tells you that, if you bought things worth value, you're going to be rewarded as the dollar continues to lose value. Then I also take a look at gold. I got a long open for gold. As the dollar loses value, gold can only continue to pump. Here's our long for gold ripping. We gave it to you. It had a huge pump. I almost hit an all-time high yet again at 4,351. Our entry right now there at 4,188, just ripping. Another idea there with the cup and handle, but that was our entry for gold. Gold continuing to rip. You can basically buy and sell gold on BTCC. All right, that's a great exchange where you can trade gold. I'm trading gold there right now as we speak on the BTCC exchange. Let me just show you what it looks like. It's one of the oldest exchanges. Never had an issue, never been hacked, and I'm trading this flag right here on BTCC. Check it out. You can trade regular assets there. It's awesome. Okay, back into gold. So yeah, gold looking pretty nice as well. Silver having its biggest, I think it's hit a high it hasn't hit in years, right? We saw this flag for silver, 51. I called that out. Silver going all the way to 67. Here's another one of my calls, just ripping. It's just a simple flag, touching the 21, cup and handle. That's why I do what I do. I don't try to make it too complicated. Banging. Let's take a look at the S&P futures, which I called that reversal on November 20th. It did exactly that. Then I said it was going to get tight inside this flag. It's doing that right now. I see just a couple, 5-6 more days of tightness, and then we begin to break out. It says we break out maybe Christmas, and we pump it to the new year all the way until like the 2nd or 3rd week of January, where it says we hit an all-time high for the S&P. Let's take a look at the NQ, the NASDAQ futures. Same story, just a little more sharp, but I expect to bounce a cup and handle consolidation in here, and a ribbage to a new all-time high as well as they continue to print this money. Last thing I want to show you is ETHBTC, because that's like people are saying, oh, there's alt season. It was strong. Let's see if it's holding that strength. No, look, it gave back half of its gains already. Could end up making a right shoulder and falling down. Be very careful believing in the altcoin narrative of alt season. I think it just keeps delaying, keeps wrecking people. Right now, I'm into stacking Tether, stacking Bitcoin on the biggest red days, and just getting ready for swing trades. If I see any strength in the market right now, I don't think DCAing into altcoins is a smart idea at the moment. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. That is your macro analysis video, folks. It gave you kind of all the ins and outs for Bitcoin, the NASDAQ, the gold, silver, the DXY, and Bitcoin dominance. And watch that Tether dominance. I think that was the main takeaway here on this video. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. No, I go live every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I also do an impromptu live stream somewhere between 7 and 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday mornings to keep you equipped with that weekend low volume. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.